Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Through the Lens, presented to you by the Unholy Trinity. That's me, Sun Dude, my handsome boy on the right, Jonas Gold. Say hi.
Oh, what's up?
My handsomest dude on the right, the Zephyros. Say hi.
That is correct.
And today we have a very special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Lil Arjun.
Thanks, mate, for having me on the show today, mate.
No worries. You may know Lil Arjun from such classics such as Tickle Mode and Shaving the Wall of the Skin. A legendary SoundCloud rapper has been the news has spread across the grapevine.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's up to date because today we'll be reviewing a movie that he has particular experience with, which is also the sequel to the one we reviewed last week, 2.0.
The sequel to Enthiran / The Robot from 2010.
Yes.
Right.
Do you want to take over the introduction?
Are you sure? Okay, fine. Alright.
Brief synopsis.
Alright, that means I have to pull up Wikipedia, bro. Wait,
Okay, I'll do it quickly
Yeah, you
then.
do.
It's the sequel to the previous thing we just talked about. It follows the conflict between Shitty, the once dismantled robot, and Pakshi Rajan, who is the former ornithologist. I guess they study birds or something, right?
yeah, that's right.
And this actually is kind of a spoiler if you say that, because it's like meant to be. I just
Yeah,
leave
say
it
the
at that.
names.
Let's just leave it at that.
Say the name.
Because I don't know why, but Wikipedia spoils the entire movie in the synopsis. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
General consensus.
General consensus?
Yes.
I felt like just on a conventional movie front, it was better than the first one. But, you know,
Because of
I'll
that,
leave it at that for now.
I feel the
Yeah.
same, but because of that, the movie being more conventional in like Hollywood standards, it lost a bit its Indian charm, mate.
Yes. Actually, Jack has something very, has a very, what do you call it? He has some very angry words to say about new film.
Very aggressive.
I do.
Yes?
Does he?
Yes, you do, mate.
Alright, you do.
Actually,
2.5 hours
I mean,
and there was only a single music video, mate.
well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's part of what the OSA lost its charm, even though it is much more streamlined and better paced than the previous film, and all around, I think it's more like, it's not really boring, like it's better
Yeah.
paced, but like also
It's more
took
engaging.
out all these, doesn't have the good stuff, which is very sad. What do you
Yeah.
think, Arjun?
Oh yes, mate. It was. I guess the plot was a little bit more simple, mate. Like compared to the previous film, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was decent. Yeah, that's all I have to say. That.
Yeah. Well, decent is good. And with that, we'll get on to the acting. Gonna start us off, Jack?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh, the acting. I thought the acting was. Oh wait, do we say who's in the movie? We forgot to say
We
that.
haven't said
Uh,
that, bro.
One fact: the main actor is 69, mate. That's it.
Is that his age?
Ah.
Yes. He looks pretty
Is he
young.
69 years
Well,
old?
when he's cheating.
Damn. Well, this movie is also directed by the same director as last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shankar.
Yeah, Mr. S. Shankar, a famous dude, I guess. Also produced by Mr. I don't know who this is, but it's also written by Mr. Shankar and other people.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
like
stars the same actor as last time, Mr. Shankar. Well, not Mr. Shankar. It's Regin
Wanna help with some
Kent.
pronunciations?
Yeah, fuck pronunciations, mate.
Fuck pronunciations.
Okay, so who do you want me to pronounce again?
Just like the first 3 people, right? There's like the main cast.
Okay. Rajinikanth. He's the
Yeah.
main actor. He's Chitty.
Yeah.
And the doctor, what's his name? Kudi or some shit.
Yeah,
I,
And
then
that's
there's
so
like
cutie.
Andrew Jackson, who plays Miller, and then there's like Akshay Kumar, who's like the Pakshi dude. Yeah.
oh yeah. So that gets it covered.
All right. So anyway, the acting. I thought, well, because I think this has like a bigger budget than the last one, right? So they actually could
Yeah.
hire more people. Like this probably had a bit better, like more of a reputation and stuff. So they actually got like better actors than last time, I think, in my opinion. And I think at least in the main cast, I don't think anyone was really. They were all pretty good, especially on the doctor guy, who just like the previous one delivers a great performance.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, something which is a bit of a standout. Sana's not in
Yeah.
this movie, but I guess she's only here in voice,
Yeah.
in
And that
occasional
was the
phone
best
calls.
phone call in the history of film phone calls.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Do you know why Sana wasn't like acting in this film?
No?
Oh, that's because she's probably busy doing other stuff because she's pretty popular. So like,
I see.
Maybe she's booked,
she's
mate.
probably booked already. I don't
She's
know.
got too much clout.
Or maybe she's busy. Yeah, cloud.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, let's move on to writing. How do you feel about the writing?
As it has been said before, it's much more streamlined than the previous movie. Therefore,
Yep.
it seems more conventional to Hollywood standards and like Western movies, Western action movies. But I find it very
Yeah.
interesting. I find the villain of this movie very interesting. His backstory is very, I guess, specific in a way, and like
Yeah.
it may. I'll talk about it later in the spoiler zone, I guess. But
Did you
yeah,
feel sympathy for him?
yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Unless everyone here is just saying "fuck the birds."
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I kind of thought it was weird that they went a supernatural route with like
Yeah,
negative energy.
ghosts, man.
Kind of.
Should have called it Ghostbusters.
I mean, I get that it was really weird because it was like an action movie, a sci-fi movie, and a horror movie in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunny man.
Yes. I felt the right. Yeah, just fit in Hollywood conventions much better. Not much to say, I guess. I did notice that in the villain's backstory, that kind of went on for a bit.
True. It did.
It like starts at one moment, flashes back for quite a long time, and then right back to where we started off, and that kind of threw me off.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
true, mate. That is true. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the one thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Right. Mr. Rajesh, what are your take on this?
They emphasized like certain areas of the plot, like the backstory of the villain, and like a few other things. So like overall, like yeah, it was fairly conventional, but yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move forward.
Yes, and with that, we're getting on to cinematography, which I felt was better in this. They had a lot of smooth camera movements and a lot of better, memorable moments in cinematography.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I especially like the opening scene where it was all
Yeah.
dark and shit. And yeah, it
Yeah.
really set the atmosphere, you know.
Yeah.
I think that they probably used the CGI.
Yeah.
Mm.
But we have a visual effects section later. We can talk about that, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And do you want to move on? Anything else to say about cinematography?
Mr. Jack.
Not really. No, I think it's good.
All right.
Think it's good. All right. And going on to music.
Oh, music. I'd say the general soundtrack was quite nice.
Disappointing. It was very disappointing. Sorry, I have to cut in here and say there was not enough songs in this movie. I am very disappointed in this film.
And
Yes.
you just like to pronounce that name, Audrey, unless we don't care about pronunciation.
Which name, bro?
I mean, the music is by a pretty popular producer named A.R. Rahman.
Is he a popular artist, right?
He's considered, yeah.
I see.
I felt like the music was very it fit the whole thing well, really. Especially with like the intro credits. That was like the one thing I remembered.
The general soundtrack's pretty good, but I'd repeat what
Yeah.
Jack said about how there's not enough music videos inside the movie, and like
Yeah.
specific songs which are not related to the, well, it's somewhat related but not really to the scene.
And the bird one was kind of the one in like the middle. The bird one was kind of disappointing. For the first music video, after we were waiting for like an hour and a half, it was quite disappointing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it does pick up with better music towards the end, especially with the final music video sequence.
The only good music video was in the credit scene.
Well, that's the only music video. There's only
Basically.
two, that and the bird one. Yeah.
There was also a what do you call it, an Easter egg, like flashback, where Neela started singing playing the song in the first film that Shitty sang. That was funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Anything else to say about music?
Mr. Raj, mate.
Oh, it was.
Do you even remember what the music is like?
I guess the last film, yeah, I watched it 2 years ago, but I do remember the last film having better music
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
and more music, because yeah.
Well, more music is a bit of a controversial topic with Jack, but we'll move on, I guess.
What do you mean? I want more music.
You want more music?
I want more music. Give me more music.
All right. If I slap you in the face hard enough, will you shut up?
No, you have to give me more music. That's
All
what
right.
I
We're
want.
moving on to editing and visuals.
Okay.
Visual
Better?
effects, mate. Oh, man, we're gonna.
How long? Well, it's been 8 years since it was
Yes.
released.
Yeah.
The first one. So obviously you expect better graphics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it went on with time, I guess, for general visual effects. The CGI, the CG, it is more, maybe realistic, but not necessarily realistic, but more. They're nicer to look at. The explosions, and
Yeah.
like the giant bird.
Yeah.
And then,
No. Yeah.
well, I haven't revealed what the
No,
bird
yeah.
does, mate. It's just a bird.
It's just a bird, man.
No. I'm saying though the bird, in my opinion, well, a lot of this like CG, it was really really gray. That might just be me, but it's just like very gray and like just like a CGI gray mess sort of. I'll compare it to like in Transformers, you know how the Decepticons and you can't tell the difference between them because they're all just gray. It was kind of like this movie. Everything was all of the CGI was kind of like gray mess.
Ray.
Yeah, it was very gray. You know, like the bird thing that was like gray and like like black dark. You know, like what I mean. Like it didn't really like. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I get what you mean.
No.
Like
it's
too
not
polished?
as vibrant.
Like
Vibrant, polished.
Yeah, it's not. What you said before, it wasn't like vibrant enough. It looked a bit like bland.
well,
I
to add
feel
to that,
like yeah, go on.
excuse me, but
Yeah.
like the CJ was like, well, it might contribute to the blandness. It was like too smooth, too perfect in movement, so it kind of
Yeah.
makes it obvious that it's like
There was.
a bit of CG there.
Yeah.
What was I going to say before? Yeah, in a lot of Asian countries, CGI is kind of like, because I know a lot of like even Hollywood and American films, they outsource a lot of CGI work to China
Yeah.
for CG. But when
Yeah.
when it comes to domestic film, they the like vision on how to pull stuff like that off gets kind of mixed up. That's just from my perspective from watching lots of like Chinese CG films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of Asian films these days just come under this trend.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I'd like to see more practical stuff.
A
But
part
I mean,
of this.
it does work though. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
not,
okay.
it's pretty good it's
It's
fairly
not,
good CGI.
it's
Yeah.
for
not
its time.
bad. I'm pretty sure part of the visual effects in this movie were done by a U.S. company. Was 'cause in
I
the
think so, yeah.
in the credits it said USA, so it was outsourced. So I think so it was.
Not sure if I'm able to find that information, but yeah, okay. So we'll move on. Any final comments, Arjun?
Oh, wait, is part,
How
Yeah.
to like overuse the CGI because of like the budget that they have, what they don't necessarily need to actually do. You use it as much to like the extent that they do.
Yeah. All right, and with that, spoiler zone.
wait, one more remark
Oh.
about the because editing is also part of this section, right?
Yep.
The editing is better than the last movie. Like it doesn't have those awkward. Also, this movie cost $106 million to make.
Like USD,
AUD.
AUD.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. So this is actually
And
pretty big budget.
They made the box office was less than twice, less than that. Right?
That's I was watching something like a review thing about some other movie yesterday, and apparently, if it doesn't make twice as much back, it's considered a flop.
Oh. Oh, I
Even
checked
though-
the wiki right now. It's the box office was less than twice as much.
Yeah.
So they made a profit, but not by that margin. So.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? In which case, I think we can move on. Spoiler zone. Spoiler zone. Alrighty. And we change up the format for spoilers, and we're not going to like talk through the entire film this time, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In which case, do you want to start off?
Sure.
Do you guys want to start off? Yeah.
Alright, the movie starts off with a dark scene where a mysterious man is talking about birds and shit. And like humans and like death and shit. And what happens is he goes up a telephone tower surrounded by flying birds and he hanged himself. And he like fucking spazzed out while doing so. And that cuts into a scene where like robotic students from some universities visiting the doctor's lab. There they meet the new cyborg made by Dr. something. The new cyborg is called Neela. She's an assistant robot, which was mistaken by one of the students as a hot lady. And like, then the doctor explains everything, like how this is the new robot, and the students ask about Chitty, and he's like, "Huh, Chitty, eh?" And he stares to a picture of him and Chitty, and he's like, "He's a precaution or some shit."
But are we actually gonna like talk about the entire plot?
No, we're not. I'm just doing the intro.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Am I gonna do the whole thing? But fine.
But what are we doing? What are we?
And then I guess the main plot point which comes next is people's phones are flying.
Yeah, that's like the big thing in this film.
They did some cool visual stuff with the phones as well.
The phones display birds while they're flying.
And they,
Because of that, all the politicians are like, "Bruh, we gotta stop this shit, man." But then
and then they get Chitty back.
But then there's this telephone company guy's like, yeah, fuck that. But then he got killed, and then some politician got killed for allowing the company guy for doing evil shit. And then some telephone seller man was killed because of the phone. So they're like, bro, we need to stop this. And the only way to stop this is by using Chitty.
Go Chitty.
So the doctor was not. Well, initially the doctor was not given permission to activate Chitty, but then he did it against their will. But then, like the prime minister or some shit, or the minister of like communications or something, he's like, shit, if this don't stop, I get killed. So he's like, bro, just pull up with Chitty, eh? So you're like, sure, I already did that. So they figured out Chitty goes, saves people, and tries to attack the bird. And then he went to a satellite field. Yeah, and then he found out that the bird cannot pass the field because positive energy, mate.
Yeah. Which means that the bird is full of negative energy.
Which equals
Which is
dead
going to be a big
person.
thing in a dead person, yeah.
Positive energy means alive person.
And negative energy is a dead person.
And then they slowed down the footage and enhanced it. It was like, bro, look at, there's a face on that bird. And so the doctor's like, who died in the past week? Then Neil was like, bro, this weird bird guy died. And doctor's like, yeah, that's the one.
Takashi Roshan.
Yes. So they planned to raid the bird house. And then they were right, the phones were all there. And they built like a mini satellite dish thing on the van to suck the negative forces out of the ghost / bird. Actually, this is Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, what did you guys think about them going the Ghostbuster route?
Interesting choice, but I mean, I guess it worked out at the end.
I feel like they didn't necessarily go Ghostbusters just because there's a whole lot of cultural influences that went in the
I guess so.
backstory of the villain, right?
That
I
person
mean
negative
like the
energy.
supernatural route. I don't mean the actual Ghostbusters. Yeah.
All this time, the Ghostbusters just had big guns full of positive energy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens in Ghostbusters. It's just the positive energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arjun, any insights into like the whole supernatural side of things?
Not really, because in that particular, like, like language of films, like they normally don't go for like, supernatural plot or anything. So it's pretty unique in that sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, just like, again, I'm talking about Chinese, but China has banned basically any form of supernatural like influences on TV and film.
Because that goes against the Communist Party, mate.
Yeah. And these days, anyone that tries to like make supernatural films has to science BS their way out of the shit.
Damn.
Well, like, I'd say about the Indonesian film industry, it's basically just horror films all the way through, mate. Because I guess that's the only thing we're good at.
Are there
Telling
any
ghost
good ones
stories,
that we
mate.
can watch together?
I guess, yeah. I'll try to find some later.
Chuck it on the list if you find a good one, and then we can watch that. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and you can watch a review of an Indonesian horror film.
Yes, Aiden
Yeah.
and Grayson.
Yes, Grayson.
And Grayson, yeah.
I probably should have mentioned to Arjun. Yeah, our viewers include Grayson and Aiden.
That's it.
Except somehow we have 13 subscribers.
So, well, yeah, that.
Well,
that
we
as
have
well.
three subscribes from us, and then like
Alright,
I don't know how many counts Aiden subscribed to our channel.
Like
There's a
6.
Grayson.
Wait, are we explaining ourselves?
No.
Anyways, what's the next plot point?
So they get the giant satellite thing, But then
Yeah.
that kind of worked, and then the bird fell down and it manifested a person-like figure, and it showed the face of Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah.
All this time.
And then
Darth
Chitty's
Maul.
like, bro, why are you attacking the humans? He's like, you know, man, they be human. Why are you protecting them? And Chitty's like, bro, what is your what do you want to do? What do you want? And he explained his whole backstory, basically.
For too long.
Yes, please tell us
Yeah.
about his backstory.
He essentially was a dude who so when he was a baby he just died immediately, like when he was born he died, but then he got brought back to life by a bird. That's where the supernatural starts coming in. So then he feels like an attachment to the birds, and he's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to protect them. Then he discovers that the what are they called, the tower things, the
Cell phone towers, mate.
cell phone towers, yeah. They cause like radiation and they're killing the birds. So then he tries to get lots of different companies and people to stop it, but they keep just going, no, fuck off. And then eventually he starts going crazy and wanting to kill people as a result. So then he's like, well, I gotta stop myself from doing that, and then he kills himself. And then he gets brought back to life, and then there are birds and shit.
He possessed the cell phone tower, man. I guess I don't.
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Oh,
He
I
hanged
thought-
himself on a cell phone tower, and that made him possess all the phones in town. Somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Fifth force.
so his plan is to radiate the humans, so all the humans die the same way the same way the birds die. That's the villain.
It's just a big final scene in the soccer stadium, which was very over the top. Very cool, funny.
That's my favorite part of the film, actually. The big, so yeah, they have a big final showdown.
Bro,
at
you
the,
skipped a part there.
Oh yeah.
Are we
So-
actually like saying the whole plot though?
This
Like,
is
aren't we just?
this is an important plot point. He possessed fucking Doctor, whatever his name is.
Hey.
Okay.
So basically, they captured his
Oh, shit,
energy
yeah.
in the van, and then did they remember the Asian dude from the first movie who isn't actually Asian, who died? He has a son, and the son's like, "Yeah, fuck you guys. you killed my father." So he released the ghost back out, and then
That was Dinendra Bora,
Yeah.
yes,
son of Dr. Bora.
and because of that, the ghost like, "Hey, where's the doctor man? I need his body." So he's like, "Hey, doctor, I'm gonna possess your body." So he did that, and then the ghost in the doctor's body defeated Chitty 1.0.
Yes.
And while in the grasp of being completely possessed, the doctor scribes out a final message to Leela, which was 2.0.
Roll credits.
Yes. And then Neela got the message, we need to upgrade Chitty to Chitty 2.0 again. Which, if you remember
Which
from
is-
the first movie, is the best version of Chitty.
It's the evil version,
Evil
even though
Chitty.
he's not really evil in the sun.
Yes.
Actually, no. He kills people. He kills innocent people. That's
Evil Chitty. So she did. And then she convinced him that Birdman is trying to take his number one spot. So he's like, fuck that. I'm gonna beat his ass. And so he did that in the stadium where the Birdman was holding these people at hostage. Well, not hostage. He just tried to kill these people with radiation.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So then that's where, well, before that, when they're making Shitty 2.0, they also make the new version of Shitty, which is Kuti, right?
Kuti,
Yeah,
which is
Kuti.
Chitty 3.0.
Yeah, who is the little like Ant-Man version of Shitty, and yeah. So eventually they go to the football stadium where the final thing takes place. Very cool scene. There's the big bird comes, and then there's a lot of like big battle stuff between Shitty and
He became a ball again.
Pakshi. Yeah, became a bull again. Became a giant version of himself. It was pretty cool.
Pacific Rim.
But then when it seems like he's defeated, he releases the other version of Chitty, the Kuti, and then they
They put
self-destruct and destroy the drones
no,
of
they put
Pakshi.
the birds at hostage, man.
Oh shit!
That's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
their main tactic. They're riding
Yeah,
on
they
birds
get
and
the
then
birds, hold them
they they're
hostage.
threatened to break their necks. So the birdman's like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
And then they save Chitty 2.0 and they so the suicide bomb the birdman
they save the doctor.
and save
Yeah.
the doctor. Is that how it ends?
Yeah,
It
and
ends with
then
a phone call with Sana, mate.
yeah,
I was like,
where
hey,
he
where you
kinda-
gonna call me? And the
and
doctor's
also
like,
Chitty, Chitty gets with Neela in a dance sequence at the end,
yes.
and then setting up the big what's this the robot the Enthiran cinematic universe. There's a post-credit scene where Kuti 3.0 says, "I am your grandson" to the
Mr.
Seagran.
Doctor. Yes, he did.
Yes. And he's a transformer, by the way. I forgot to say that he can transform
Into a phone.
into a phone.
My favorite part of the music video is the floss. They did the floss multiple times.
Oh,
And the lyrics, mate. The lyrics were
The lyrics
great
were-
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the spoiler zone, everyone.
And welcome. I'll probably have mentioned that we put a timestamp where the spoilers started. But we can fix that in.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
we
in the
will.
Uh,
post.
Yeah. So, time for our final verdict. Anything before we move on to our final verdict? No?
No, we'll just
Alrighty.
do final verdict, mate.
Alright. As always, we start from the right. Mr. Zephyr, take it away.
What did I give the last movie, mate? I don't remember. Was
You
it
gave
an
it
8?
a 8, yeah.
I'd give this one a like a 7, bro, for being more engaging and more streamlined, but because of that it lost some of its original charm from the first movie. But storyline was pretty interesting. The characters were all the acting was alright. Yeah, it was pretty enjoyable.
Yes.
Right. Well, last time I gave it a 6, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, this is about the same. It had the potential to be better because they streamlined it, made it more entertaining, more enjoyable, though it did have a bit of pacing issues with like the flashback sequence and stuff. But it did lose a lot of that charm because they took out those fucking incredible dance sequences. I'm really mad at this movie for that. But like it's also very fun, especially towards the end. So, and also I don't really like the supernatural thing. That was a bit weird for a sci-fi
Ghostbusters.
movie. But I mean, it didn't exactly not work, but it was just a weird. But so anyway, yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10.
Alright, my turn, because as always, I'm terrible at reviewing movies, so I'm just gonna go off of what the last two said. I'll give it a 6.5, smack dab in the middle. I guess, yeah, it lost some of the original charm, but what did I give last time? Was it a 7?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
give it an 8,
Yeah.
Jack gave it a 6, you chose 7.
Yes, I always go for the middle, because I'll go for a 6.5.
Yeah.
And that I won't explain anymore because I don't need to explain.
And now Arjun.
What are your
So the
thoughts?
approach that they took was fairly creative, and I liked the direction that they took. I think that both films were like they took the aspects of the first film, so which is pretty good. Like the aspects that were good. So I would give it a 6.69 out of 10.
Oh,
That was
very
a
nice.
one, mate.
Which
So
gives
it
us
is an average of around like a strong 6 or something.
Yeah.
So like 7.
6.5 5.
Get that
Five.
Just
calculator.
make
out.
it 6.69, mate. It's the best.
6.69. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So, and that's our rating for today. 6.69. I feel like we
Alright.
reached a very nice conclusion.
Absolutely.
And it's been going for 45 minutes.
No, it's 36 minutes, mate. It's alright.
6 minutes?
36.
Oh, 36.
Which is I can comparing to our other ones, which normally go for like
An
50
hour
minutes.
and a bit.
We got
Yeah.
off track a little bit as well. So,
But we're on our way to having a pretty good podcast.
Yeah,
That's-
shit one is that?
Not that's engaging enough for the time period that we've given it.
yeah.
Mhm.
30 minutes, and then you're out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show, Leon. I appreciate it.
And
No
I guess
worries.
hopefully you'll be
Happy to have you.
back if we review any movies you've watched.
Yup.
And I hope you had a shitty time doing this.
Yes, I did. I had a very shitty time. Thank you for the shitty time.
No worries.
You're welcome.
This is YouTube's favorite shit show after all.
True.
Yes. Alright, guys, thanks for watching this episode. Go subscribe if you want to subscribe, like it if you like the video. Catch us next time when we review something else, potentially an Indonesian horror film.
You know,
And
you always
yeah,
stuff in the pipeline, yeah. So make sure you do subscribe. Hit the notification.
yes.
In
Comment
fact-
below about
Yes.
your feelings about this movie. Yes,
Yeah. And let us know what you want us to review, because no one's ever done that yet.
yes, man. Even
I'm
our
gonna
loyal
pull out-
subscribers have not done that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out a dickhead move. Dude, guys, 20% of our subscribers, 20% of our viewers are not subscribed. What are you doing with
100%
your
of our
life?
viewers are subscribing.
What? No way. Wait, I checked last night. It was 80 and 20.
Or 80% of our viewers are subscribing.
That's pretty good.
And that's like,
Okay.
so 8 people subscribe. You 2 idiots who are not subscribed. Fucking subscribe.
I see.
Insult our audience.
Alright,
Very cool.
thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.